friends. Welcome to Taster's Table today. Here is our funny, friendly reminder to return in your books brought to you by SpongeBob and Patrick. So seriously, it's time to return your library books. Our book goes along with our weird holiday of the day, which is Happy Frog Day. Remember 3 fingers? You kind of flick your fingers, frog. And this is such a fun book because it is a funny retell of the traditional book from, I have a picture of it right here, of The Frog Prince, which if you don't know it, you should know it because it's a traditional fairy tale, but it's of a princess and she finds a frog and the frog asks her to kiss her so he can turn into a prince. And she's kind of, no, I'm not going to kiss you, and kind of runs away to her castle. And then she does finally keep her promise and kiss the frog, and he turns into a prince. So this story is the traditional fairy tale, and it's kind of told from the princess's point of view. But the book we're going to read about is from the frog's point of view. It says, I never wanted to kiss anybody. It's written by Nancy Lowen and illustrated by Dennis Alonzo. So this is a good book. You'll love it. I was playing baseball the day Hank's mom turned me into a frog. One moment I was about to catch Hank's pop fly, which would give my team the championship. At the next moment, I was flopping around on the ground with more legs than I knew with what to do. Sorry, kid, Hank's mom called as she was let out of the ballpark. To break the spell, just get a princess to kiss you. But she can't know that you're a prince. Well, whether I was a prince or a frog, I wasn't about to kiss any girl, and I soon found that being a frog had its perks. I could see almost all the way around my head. I could swim and dive like nobody's business, and boy, could I jump. I jumped and jumped all the way to a new home near a well under the old linden tree. One day I was playing kick the mushroom with my frog buddies when I heard the unmistakable sound of a ball smacking into a glove. That's the princess, Mickey told me. She's always coming out here to practice. I listened to the smack, 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 and I wish that I could be just a regular baseball playing prince again. Then it happened. Smack, smack, plunk. The ball landed in the well. That was my lucky ball, the princess cried. The gang gathered around me. If you offer to get the ball, she'll offer to pay you back somehow, Willie said. Then you can ask for that kiss. Go on, Harmon prodded. Think of your teammates back home. I worked up my courage and jumped beside her. Would you like me to get your ball? I asked. You? She said. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to try. I hopped into the well and kicked the ball out. How can I ever repay you? The princess asked. Just ask and it's yours. I stammered. Finally, I blurted out, a kiss. I want you to kiss me. Bleh, the princess said. We stared at each other. She leaned toward me, and I leaned toward her. Nope, can't do it, she said. She took her ball and ran away. Could you kiss a frog? I don't know if I could. Well, that made me a little mad. A deal's a deal, right? It took me a while, but jump by jump, I followed her back to her castle. The princess wouldn't open the door, but I stood there croaking loudly until her father, the king himself, let me in. I told him about our agreement. My daughter must keep her word, the king assured me in a booming voice. Then he plopped me down on the dinner table right next to her. The princess looked the other way. I'll kiss you after we eat, she said. Promise. But as soon as she'd swallowed her last bite of lemon tart, she dashed up the stairs. I hopped right after her. I'll kiss you right before I go to sleep, she said. But she pulled the covers over her head and quickly began to fake snore. I spotted her lucky ball in the corner. Well, I guess I'll be going now, I said. Since you won't kiss me, I'll just be taking this. The princess flung off the covers. No, wait, I'll do it. She picked me up and held me to her face. She closed her eyes. I closed my eyes. Then her lips touched mine. Ah! We both shrieked. I felt myself being hurled into the air, and suddenly I was stumbling around with 2 legs and 2 arms that I didn't know what to do with. You're a prince, she said. What an arm, I said. Did we fall in love, get married, and live happily ever after? No way. But my team got a great new starting pitcher. Kind of a fun way, a different way of our traditional story of the Frog Prince, right? Okay, here is our weird fact, and they're pretty good. It's from our book that we always read at the library. You blink 12 times a minute. This one is pretty interesting. The average lifespan of a caveman was about 18 years. That's it. In caveman time, if you were 18, you were considered a very old person. In the United States today, the average lifespan is about 74 years for a man and 79 years for a woman. Very different than caveman time, and we're very grateful. Some scientists believe that humans have the potential to live around 150 years. Now, this is crazy. In 1635, a 152-year-old man named Thomas Parr was discovered living in the English countryside. He was brought to London and presented to the king. He was given employment in a noble household and supplied with plenty of food and drinks and treats. And in a very short time, he died shortly after of an overly rich diet. So it's kind of crazy to think about. Keep reading.